Now today in this session let's speak on 8 element theory for Vaastu Shastra. As you know, there are 10 directions and 10 directions are divided in 5 elements. So as such we can say that 2 directions represents 1 element, but the expression of that element differs in that pair of directions. Like, say, as east contains fire, as you know, astrologically also 159 signs represents the directions east, but these signs 159 of astrology lie in the sky. That's why whenever we speak in Vaastu how these signs descend down along with its element to the southeast zone, that is in a clockwise Pradakshina Marge. So in Vaastu, the effect of elements or emergence of the elements we equate with the sub-directions. So whenever we say east is also aligned with the fire element, and effect of this fire element is like a flame, a Jyota Swarup. And as you know, the sutra of Jyota is Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. It ends all types of darknesses and voids related to this body and your psyche, which is termed as the consciousness, which is termed as the Antahkarana Chatushtaya in traditional language. That's the importance of the vibrations of the east, because these vibrations are connected to Jyota Swarupagni, that is a divine flame form of the fire. So whenever we speak of elements in correlation to the directions, we should not forget that each direction has a specific connectivity to specific expression and form of that element. Along with this, you should not forget, when I try to discuss anything regarding east, then obviously effectivity of the east lies on all the situations which lie on 180 degrees to the west direction. As you know, we call this Vaastu Shastra as two-stream theory, and when with the effect of 2 streams in correlation to 8 elements, then whatever the vibrations of the east you say will always have its correlation to the excitation of energy in the west. Say, if there is hyper-excitation of the west zone in your house, means there is a terrace to the west, there is a huge site margin to the west, the earth element to the west is weak, or lot of light is coming from the west, means the pranic spandan, the vibrations of the prana emanating from the east will have obstruction, a resistance, a friction with the vibrations of the west. In that case, however the virtues and the qualities of the east may be, but the effectivity of this Jyota Swarup form of the fire, a divine form of the fire of the east, will get totally disturbed. That's why whenever any sutra, say, now for this 8 element theory I am going to refer all the sutras from this great book. We can say this as the Bible of the Vaastu Shastra, that is Aparajit Prucha. So whenever we consider any shlok, any stanza of this book for any form of the direction, simultaneously you should have your watch on 180 degrees to the complementary direction of east, that is west. Similarly, whenever we will speak of any vibrations of the south zone, then effectivity, all the negative eventology connected with the south simultaneously depends on how much activation of the north lies. If there is hyper excitation of north vibrations, if there is ether, light and energy vibrations coming from the north zone, then the lot of faults in the south will automatically get diluted, and whatever the sutra says regarding the southern slope, southern vibrations, you will not get that negative result of south vibrations, because south is such a direction that every Vaastu expert should have a keen eye in corrections to the south zone. The sutra for the south is very deadly sutra. Here it says Nashyanti Purushas Tattva. It totally wipes out the male staying in the house, or other way round, shastra being a good shastra, it removes the malehood from the person staying in that house. So Nashyanti Purushas Tatra Devata cha pranashyati, but Devata cha pranashyati will have a comma over here. If lot of vibrations of north is also available, then Devata cha pranashyati will not happen. There will be less effect of positivity of the deities. Like that, you have to club this two stream theory with 8 element theory, then pinpointedly you can mark the eventology connected to that house, and that's the beauty of the Vaastu Shastra, because you know the Vaastu speaks of 5 dimensions, that is elements, planets, deities, energies and directions. So to speak of these 5 dimensions of the Vaastu, you have to club 2 stream theory and 8 element theory together, then you can understand the effectivity of the matrix of the deities aligned to that house. As you know, this Shastra speaks of 2 totally different aspects. One is the time, which is scientists also say as it is the 4th dimension is the time. So whenever Shastra clubs time as well, the vibrations, that is spandanas of the directions together, in that case one should always have its correlation to deitism, like Nanda, Bhadra, Jaya, Rikta, Purna, in correlation to southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast and central Brahmasthana, simultaneously to the tithis like Pratipada, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, the continues the avartanas of the time. That's why in Sarvatobhadra Chakra, if you see, it is nothing but the great gathering of all Graha Tattva, Devata, Disha and Urja. So sometimes when I find time, we will speak on applied aspect of the Sarvatobhadra Chakra to the Vaastu Shastra too. So this is the introduction to this subject of 8 element theory. Now in each session, which we will try to cover vibrations of each directions, its effectivity in correlation to the complementary direction and its effect on matrix of deities, matrix of planets, matrix of virtues, all that we will cover one by one. Is it clear? Jai Gurudev.